looks like Plant Moran and PD agreed to a certain set of procedures, but they're not attached to our document, are they?
I'll have to double check. I don't believe they are attached to this. My understanding is that Plant Moran will come in here. They did an initial inspection and said, we're looking at what you have, and based off of what we see, then I would have recommendations, and this would be to meet with us to develop it and actually go through it in a detail, or have it detailed for us, where they just did a general overview for 4 hours or something. This would be going through our entire process to make sure that we're streamlining it in the proper way, as well as having the proper retentions. And they've been done this throughout the country in a lot of areas, and it helps streamline the process a little bit.
I think it's a great idea, and I'm glad. I noticed in their cover letter it says we will not express an opinion on the procedures and controls. In addition, we have no obligation to perform any procedures beyond those specified in the attached schedule. So I was just curious what the attached schedule was.
I think that would be part of the policy and procedures. If I'm not mistaken, that would end up as a policy and procedure for the standard operating procedures for the property. And I think that's probably what they're talking about. You're going to have to write the policies, the operations of that. Yep.
Any other questions for Deputy Chief? All right, item 13 is a motion to approve amending the 2017 winter special assessment roll by removing $220 in ordinance citation charges from 23815 Koths per the attached documents. Mr. Markey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an item that council has addressed 2 weeks prior when the council voted to deny approving the removing of the charges. The taxpayer was made aware of it and will be approaching council tomorrow at the council meeting to discuss your denial and requesting you to reconsider.
Okay.
Jerry, can you, if it's already been denied, can we legally ask City Council to consider it again?
Fair question. I would think we could, Mayor, and it's more of, this is a special assessment charge that council has initially reviewed. And to your question, I don't know if there's if once reviewed, it cannot be reviewed again.
Well, for example, if I bring an item forward for City Council to consider and they vote it down, I cannot bring it back forward to City Council. Somebody in the prevailing motion could bring it back forward. So if somebody that voted in favor of the denial said, hey, I've reconsidered it based on new facts or circumstances, I would like to bring back a motion to reconsider this, they can do that, but I'm not sure we can do that.
Or maybe it shouldn't be on the agenda.
Well, I think we need to look at it, just like the mayor said. I mean, we've denied this unanimously last time, but what goes, I mean, we can bring it back as many times as we want. I mean, we denied it by the whole board. So I mean, I think we need to look at what policies in place.
Let us get you a legal answer, because I'm not sure that this should be on the agenda. Now, if City Council wants to consider it as part of open business, that's certainly the pleasure of the elected board. But I don't know that it should be on there if it's already been denied once.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor.
I got a quick question.
Yes, Councilor.
Jerry, on this one thing here, maybe I can ask you, where it says delinquent water. Is that a delinquent water that they owe back on water payments?
That would be correct, $202. And that's not under dispute. Only the ordinance citation is
Okay.
$222.
They just haven't paid it, that's all. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay. Any other consideration for this one? Okay. Item 14 is a motion to approve compensating building, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical inspectors at the rate not to exceed $40 per inspection. Funds will be provided from the building department. Mr. Bach.
Yes, we've been having a lot of difficulty finding inspectors, especially trade inspectors. We've been advertising since the fall of last year, and we've been bringing it up to our classes for continuing education, which are full of inspectors, and we didn't get one single interview. We interviewed 2 building inspectors, but as soon as we made them an offer, they went back to their respective municipalities and they matched it and they stayed where they were at. So we're having a difficult time finding trade inspectors. I did find a plumbing inspector that we're using on emergency right now, and we are paying him $40 an inspection. because our current plumbing inspector that we were contracting through Wade Trim can't work anymore because he's collecting Social Security, and he's got a cap on what he can make, so he gave us his 2 weeks' notice to be ended in the end of March. And then his last 2 weeks in March, he contacted us, he was put in the hospital, and we had 10 inspections that same day. So I had to get someone in here, and I actually found an inspector that I've used in my other municipalities that I'm familiar with and does a really good job. And we're just asking that we have to find a way to pay these inspectors to make it attractive for them to come here. It's just the way it is right now. The trades are very demanding, because you got a whole generation that isn't in the trades, and a lot of these guys who used to inspect are out in the field working, and they're making more money than they can be in inspecting, so you got to try to attract them.
Councilman Johnson?
I get an update on my email every 2 days. For example, this is 30-plus new plumbing jobs in Michigan. I got from Thornton and Grooms, Great Lakes Water Authority, Beaumont System, State of Michigan, Oakland County, all looking. I've never once seen the city of Taylor on this.
What website is it? I go through the HR director, puts them on the website.
I know we use, I think we use Indeed, we use Monster as well.
I look at
They use
that,
MML too.
every time they come up, I look. Every time, in the plumbing one, because that's what I specify.
I know it's been on
I've never
MML.
seen it Taylor.
It's been on Tobacco, it's
It's
been.
possible.
It is
Are
possible.
you saying these people are out there, Charlie, that you could tap into them, or
I'm saying that people are looking at this one,
that's like
anyways.
a trade
Yeah.
website that
Right.
everybody's
So,
subscribed to?
if I could just elaborate a little bit more, we are not going to stop our search for inspectors.
Well, and we talked.
Yeah, that obviously has to continue. For us to sustain, the economic development opportunities that we're going through right now, we need to have in-house inspectors. The issue is that at this point in time, we just need a bridge to get us there, and that's what we intend to do through these, the subcontractor route here. Because if not, then I'm not sure how we'll get these inspections completed until we're able to find employees.
How are you finding subcontractors? Are you using like Thomas Net or any type of how are you finding people to do the?
This
do
particular
independent-
one, I knew who he was. He's been an
Okay.
inspector for
So
me
this is
before.
just
and
for one?
He's already inspecting for Taylor, Brownstown, Sumter, not Taylor, I'm sorry, Southgate. He's doing, or Riverview, he's doing 3 communities right now, and he's willing to work a couple days for us.
So this motion is only for this one individual that you're?
No, it's for, in case this happens again, I have it for all the trades and the building inspectors also.
So how would you find an independent contractor? Let's say the guy you know can't do it anymore. I'm just asking, how would you?
The same way, we reach out to classes that we attend. We have to have continuing education under Act 54, and they're full of, the classes are packed, they're full of people who want to do inspections.
Okay.
I mean, in Act 54 certified inspectors. See, they can't just be a plumber, they have to be Act 54 certified through the state to be an
But also,
inspector.
they could do that as they're doing it.
They can go through the process.
I think we allowed them 6 months to become certified in the
Right.
past.
Right.
Well,
And it's,
first of all, they have to get a provisional letter from the state to be able to do any inspections whatsoever
the problem with plumbing
before they even get
inspections,
certified.
if you become an inspector for plumbing, you can't do your own work anymore. You can't pull permits, where electricians
Well,
can.
right.
So a lot of plumbers are going, wait a minute, I do work on the side, I'll inspect, but I'm not gonna give up my license to.
Plus, there's another step towards that too. I mean, you have to be a master plumber or a master electrician, and then you have to inspect and know the code. A lot of these guys, it's a training, there's a training period.
Right.
Just because they're plumbers, they probably do a good job, they still gotta know what the code is. They still gotta learn the code, and they gotta learn how to enforce the code. So there's also a training period that you have to go through. Here in Taylor, we have so many inspections, we're at such a high pace. I don't want to be a training ground unless we have to. It's nice to have people who are already Act 54 certified and have the experience out there. Not saying we wouldn't, because it may very well, we might be put in a position where we're going to have to,
Well, my whole problem with your statement of, we're telling them in the Act 54 classes, those guys are all employed already.
Yeah,
So
but
we're
a lot
not
of
have to train somebody.
A lot of them are part-time, and they're still looking for work. And the last 2 communities I worked for, that's how they both paid their contract inspectors. this is not an uncommon way to pay them.
No, and it's been happening for years.
Yeah, so,
Because, let's face it, and we talked about it, the mayor did, that nobody's loyal anymore. So why would I go to Taylor when they're not paying me what I'm worth, and they don't care about me, because they don't wanna invest in a pension for me, they wanna give me a 401K, so that's happening. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah, well, definitely, I mean, there are some issues that we're not as competitive as some of the other communities, and, you know, because of the contracts we negotiated. That we have addressed that, we brought back an MOU, bringing back the rates for the inspectors, but even with that, there's just not a lot of options out there. I mean, it is somewhat of a dying trade, and it's difficult. So if you guys know anybody, send them, tell them to submit a resume if they're qualified. This will not stop our search, but we're just trying to create options to continue to move forward.
and these fees are covered by the permit fees.
Counselor Reserve?
What do we pay a full-time inspector?
Was it 25 an hour?
I think it's higher than that, yeah, I think it's 26, close to 27. if I'm not
So
mistaken.
in that 25 to 27.
Yeah, plus benefits. And this is paid by 1099, of course, got to pay their own taxes and everything. This is subcontract.
Are you interested, Councilman?
No, I'm just curious, I mean, you know, if we're willing to pay and we can't hire him, then, you know.
If we got a good candidate and the pay was an issue, we would have addressed it in another manner.
You're talking 50 or 55 grand, it's not a
Oh, yeah.
whole lot.
Trade inspecters, our electrical inspector gave us 2 weeks' notice, and our plumbing inspector gave us notice. He's gone, totally now our plumbing inspector.
So we
So
have,
we're using somebody on an emergency basis at the moment, yes. And we've reached out to other communities to see if we can use theirs, and just nobody, they're all looking for the same, we're all searching for the same trades, all the communities that are surrounding us right now.
Here's just an example, we got maintenance mechanics, they don't have a license in anything. With the state of Michigan, at the hospital on that, I dealt with 9 of them today. They were making $28 an hour that don't deserve it, okay? And we can't, we're trying to hire trade, licensed people, so it's,